And welcome back. This is your host, Michael Rathburn, aka Rath, with another edition of Rath's Learning Curve here on rotocurve.com. How to Win series, DFS College Fantasy Football. And this is really a beginner tip and really where people get intimidated with wanting to play college fantasy football. Like I've been saying, 128 teams versus 32 in the NFL. Games starting at 12 noon Eastern and going all the way until 10 p.m. Eastern as far as start times go. So you've got games, 40, 50 games sometimes in a given Saturday that go, round the clock, and it can be quite intimidating. So here's what you want to do. Early in the week, like we talked about in these earlier series videos, is start your research early. When are you going to be home? Are you going to be home on Saturday morning? Because, again, we talked about in these other earlier videos is you need to be monitoring Twitter for late-breaking news with injuries and scratches and suspensions and knowing who's going to be starting on these particular teams. So if you're going to be around Saturday morning, definitely play the 12 noon Eastern slate, which should be anywhere from 10 to 15 games, and which is healthy because that's typically how many games you're going to have in a typical NFL slate, so you can handle that. If you're not going to be around in the morning and you're going to be around in the afternoon, maybe you want to play at 3:30 Eastern. If you're not going to be around in the morning or during the day, but you're going to be around 6 p.m. Eastern, then take a look at the 6 p.m. Eastern, or most of the time it's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern game set. Do a proper time management. We always talk about bankroll management in DFS, but I think time management is critical, especially when you're talking about college football, because you've got to be available and you have to know, because I'm going to tell you right now, one of the biggest edges that sharp players have against you when it comes to playing college fantasy football is that they have information that you don't. It's not necessarily that they know more than you as far as building a lineup. It's that they have that edge over on one or two guys that they know are value plays that are going to hit big, and that's where it opens up everything else for the rest of your lineup. And that's really the key number one factor for why guys are winning players in college fantasy football. So again, manage your time, figure out what game sets you can play, don't go overboard. And my final tip on this is do not play any of the all sets, which is basically going to cover 50 or 60 games. It would cover every single game from 12 noon all the way till 10 p.m. Eastern. Do not play those. You're going to get basically destroyed by sharks and pros that are going to have a significant edge over you, knowing the entire player pool. So stay away from those, and let's play only those 15 game sets. Thanks again, guys, for joining us. Join us back here later on for another Learning Curve video.